6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And booster ignition and liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery, taking the space station to full power for full science.
This is Mission Control Houston.
Discovery roll program.
Roger roll, Discovery.
All right, I was muted there. How's everybody doing today on this Monday evening? Tonight, I'm going to be playing a cozy kind of game because, you know, on the weeknights when I've got work in the morning, I don't want to get too wrapped up in something too deep like Star Citizen, which is what I usually play. But, you know, that could be pretty time consuming just leaving the spaceport sometimes. So every now and then I like to play a little chill out game. And you may be asking yourself, what in the world is Lightyear Frontier? It's a game that's been out for about a year. I've just recently started playing it and got a little hooked on it. So I'll play a little trailer here so you can get a little bit of an idea of what Lightyear Frontier is about. But feel free to stop by and chat. It is a multiplayer game, however, I'll probably be playing in single player tonight. I like these survival building games, so I thought this would be pretty cool to play around with, especially because I love mechs too. It's kind of like a cozy little farming game with a sci-fi twist to it. That part about the environment's a little bit annoying to me, but we'll see how it goes. And you can see it's multiplayer. You can play with your friends. Alright, so that's a little bit of what Lightyear Frontier is about. You can see we got the game stream on in the background, and you can probably hear the crickets going. So I'm gonna probably get some more exciting music going, because the game music is, it's okay, but it might put us to sleep. Well, maybe I'll start out with the game music first, so you guys get the full effect. Anyway, one of the reasons why I decided to play this game again. See how sleepy the music is, though. That might be a little too slow. See, I put my avatar to sleep already. So I'll put on some real music in a second here. But anyway, I've got a little game going that I started on my Steam Deck. That's why I called it Deck World. Give me a second here. Let me get some tunes going here. I need something a little bit more than what we're listening to here. Not to say that the game world isn't, exciting. But it leaves a little bit to be desired sometimes. Alright, here we go. I know JP, I was supposed to be playing Star Citizen, but I know if I start SC right now, I'm not gonna be able to put it down for a couple hours, and I've got some important meetings in the morning, so I decided to do something cozy. Hope it doesn't disappoint you too much. This is just more of a chill kind of game, because I can only stream for like about maybe an hour or 2 hours tops, and there's a special event going on in this game right now. Ooh, I blocked the pad here for my merchant, which is flying in. Anyway, this is it's a mech game, so think of it as like Atlas suits. But yeah, my plan was to do SC with some mining. I'll have to postpone that till Wednesday, unfortunately. How's it going, though? I really appreciate the help the other night. Alright, not much going on here. Anyway, this is my little farm that I had going on here. I finally built a little cottage. There's been a new game edition here. Wait, turn down that music because it's driving me crazy a little bit. The game just added this new spaceship here, which I'm trying to unlock for a special event, which is going to be over by tomorrow, but I don't think I'll be able to finish it because I don't know all the parts yet. And I'm kind of surprised the merchant ship left that fast. Usually she hangs around all day. It must be towards the end of the game stream. Graphics wise, this game is not the same. Yeah, it's very cartoony, I suppose. It's a little bit of a cutesy wootsy game. We're gonna end a day-night cycle here, so I'm gonna finish up the night here, and we'll start with a fresh new day. Basically, when you sleep at night, it saves the game. So we'll wrap it up in here. But anyway, I promise I will be back, either SC hauling or mining, on Wednesday. I think I'm going to take the jump to Pyro because everybody's talking about the space worm. Ooh, and what happened to my look here? My tracking camera died. Let's see if we can bring it back. There we go. Sorry about that, having a little technical difficulty. Alright, so I hate to call this Farmville because I feel like it's a better game than Farmville, but it can kind of be like that a little bit. You do have to grow some crops here, but I'm trying to unlock some upgrades for my mech. Basically, so I'm collecting what crops do grow, because then you got to take it back in the shed over there and kind of craft some stuff. Give it a chance, it's a fun game. You know, I haven't played Fortnite in a very long time. It is kind of like Fortnite a little bit, but it's very casual, I suppose. We're going to plant some more blueberries right here.
Fresh soil, neat seed.
It's always better to do the planting inside the cockpit, I find. But yeah, I was attracted to this game because I love mechs and pretty much all sci-fi gaming. That's pretty much what my channel is about. So even if I play a cozy, relaxed, chill game on a Monday night, it still has to have mechs. The design of these mechs are a little unique. I'll show you in a second when I go to upgrade. So as we lay down these crops here, I'm glad it's raining because that means I don't have to water. But yeah, you basically crash land on this planet and you have to build your mech up. I've been playing for a little while, so I'm a little bit further progressed. And then you kind of like build your little estate here, which I'm doing, and trying to build that up a little bit more. And eventually, I'll show you some of the parts you can unlock with your mech once you have the mech garage going. Which I put over here, probably not in the best place. Let's see, that's what my mech looks like. I've done some modifications there in the middle, kind of giving it a hot rod look. All the mechs have kind of like this, the engine part is kind of like more nostalgic vintage look to it. I mean, while I'm here, let me check on which upgrades I want to add to it. See, I want to add this irrigated hose, but I need to figure out how to make the red lens here. Oh my gosh, you played Destiny? So, I was into Destiny 1. For some reason, I could never get into Destiny 2. I wouldn't say I was good at those games, but I was hooked on them. You were a player bug finder, though? Or an exploiter? Oh, I'm sorry, I just read here. Destiny did me dirty. It's also part of the Get Wrecked Squared Bungies? Get Wrecked Squared Bungies, okay. Excuse my reading this late at night. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, not really, because Bungie... I feel like Bungie just hasn't been the same since Halo. And Halo hasn't been the same since Bungie left either. It's like the two needed each other. But, I thought Destiny 1 was kind of okay. We're making some oil here from some of the plants that we grew. Just gonna drop off some more produce and stuff. Then we're gonna go exploring. Alright, let's check out the world map for a quick second. So it's got an interesting mechanic. Each one of these regions, you have to kind of like clear a lot of the biological hazards or whatever. You're trying to bring back the ecosystem so that originally you were like on this expedition, I guess, to find a planet that could be habitable. And of course you crash land here, but while you're going along the ways, you're trying to improve the ecosystem so maybe humans could come back someday. Although I think you're just trying to live long enough to get off the planet. Anyway, I progressed far enough that I built a trader station, so I do have a trader that flies in pretty much once a day. But anyway, we're going to make some fodder here because we got to feed the local flora fauna. Because then they'll repopulate some of the resources that we need. It's very confusing to me, actually, how it works. Oh, man. You've done it all. You're kind of like, you know, PC builder extraordinaire, master Destiny player. What other games do you play besides SC and Destiny? I'm gonna make 10 fodder here. And make some nice fodder. It's for the nicer guys out there. Make a little sour fodder too, because as we go out there, we'll need them. So in order for me to fix, so there's a few goals we got in mind here. I'm trying to fix the ecosystem in each region, but I'm also trying to unlock some resources and parts to improve my mech. You have these tools here that you can use with your mech. Vacuum harvester kind of sucks up things that you find. It also refills your water tanks. Then you get the waterer, and then we got the fan. I'm sorry, the saw. The spike saw helps us chop down trees and collect resources. Stuff that you need a mech to do. You can also cut this way, but I find it's a lot slower, so I just basically like the hammer way. Anyway, I didn't think I'd get hooked on this game, but I don't know what it is about it. It kind of relaxes me, but it also kind of... I guess I'm a completionist, so I want to like hit all the goals in it. I don't know if that's weird or not. All other games have sucked for 5 years except for SC. I'm kind of surprised you would say that. Well, I watch a lot of Salty Mike, so you know, and I think a lot of us as SC people want SC to succeed, but at the same time too, it can be a little frustrating sometimes. But I can definitely tell you're hardcore SC because you totally fixed my settings for my very old graphics card. I played it a little bit today, and I definitely like the performance. Okay, we're gonna feed these guys here. So that's 1 to 3 nest. I'm trying to mark the nest off because I haven't found them all, and I need to basically feed them all. So I found this one here, so I marked it earlier. We'll mark this one here. Oh, and there's only 3. I know where the 3rd one is, so I bet we could fix the meadow. So let's do that. We'll head over to the other one, feed them. Let's collect some aluminum rods while we're at it. You can also exit your mech in this game, but you know, it's very cartoony, so here, I'll show you. It's immersive, just like SC. Sort of. So your dude is like very cartoony looking. I mean, it's just the style of the game itself, right? A little rapscallion guy. But yeah, sometimes you gotta exit your mech to get into certain places. I'm just a very mech heavy guy, although I'm not very good at the Mech Warrior games. So when you find these exploits, do you report them to CIG? Okay, they've fixed most of them, okay. I don't think SC is a scam, I wouldn't call it that. However, I feel like it's horribly mismanaged. And the reason why I say that, and I know I've been through this a lot, but since I started pledging back in 2014, I've seen it go through a lot. Changes to the engine, etc. I just think it suffers from some poor decisions that were made. I think, and of course it's easy for me to say because I'm not the developer, right? But if it was me, I think I would have like hammered down the stand system, gotten a 1.0 version of it out there, and continued to add on to it in game expansions and patches. And then eventually get to the point where you're at Pyro. Kind of similar to like what EVE Online does, and basically a lot of MMOs. Even if they had to change gameplay mechanics, that happens all the time, you know, but SC has this really unique experience to it that no other game has. So I think the experience alone is good enough to have gotten people to keep coming back. Oh yeah, you can do that, man. You know, as a matter of fact, I just got back to streaming, so I'm resetting my rig up. Gosh, my guy froze again. Just having trouble with my VTuber. But what I do is usually when I'm playing with other players, I open up the Discord chat. So if you're not too shy and you like talking on mic, you can definitely join in on that. I used to do roundtables back when I used to stream a lot, just among friends and stuff like that, to kind of talk about SC, because everybody's got an opinion. Dude, I'm like over encumbered here, which means I can't use my jets anymore. I wasn't even paying attention because I was yapping so much. So we'll just drop some stuff off. But actually, before I do that, let me get back to my map here real quick. Okay, so there should be a habitat right here. Oh, there it is. I must be blind. Let's feed these guys. Second is 2. Okay, sweet. I know where the third nest is. It's right by my house. So we'll just have to walk over there. Cool. Well, I'll tell you what, for Wednesday's stream, I will get the Discord going again. And if you're around, feel free to pop on in. Would love to chat with you and get to know you. Moving on here. But yeah, I'm kind of like starting all over again. I took like almost a year off from streaming. So I'm getting right back to it. Not only getting right back to it, but I have to rebuild the audience all over again. Not that it was ever a huge one, but you know, I originally started the channel because I wanted to do like a logistical org in Star Citizen. So a lot of my regulars were getting together, and eventually that was going to be the plan. But then I just got too busy in real life. I decided for some reason to go back to school and do some postgraduate work. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot why I was here. I gotta feed that other habitat. There it is. So it took like, I did like a 6-month, program. For some reason I decided to go back to school. Yes, we have fed everything here, which means our resources are gonna get repopulated by the animals a lot quicker. We're gonna drop things off in my makeshift storage here. As you can see, I put little signs here so I know what I'm dropping off. So let me just take care of that. Let's make sure we're not encumbered anymore. I don't know if I should have dropped off the seeds. I might actually need those. That may have been a critical mistake. Okay, I've still got some iron I need to drop off here. But yeah, let's grab these seeds for right now. I am not a farmer type. I don't play the farm simulation games or anything like that, so it's really weird that I'm into this game. But yeah, it's the mech aesthetic, I guess, that just drew me in. Aesthetic, I don't even know if that was the right word, but we used it. Oh man, you have 14,000 followers on Xbox? Jeez. I wish I had time to have that many followers. Yeah, you should totally do it. So if you have that many followers and there are people, you must really like to talk. Oh, this one's full, that's why it didn't go across. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I'm going to leave the hardwood there because I'm trying to build something. Over here. But yeah, one of my regulars, her name is Scarlett. She was really shy when I met her, but now she's like streaming, got a larger audience and everything. She does it like during the day, really doing well. So I guess it's like if I can do it, people are like, anybody can do it. Which is pretty much true, anybody can. I think as long as you got a good personality, especially if you like helping people, it's easy to do. Alright, let's fill this in here. Some of the red stuff. I had to upgrade my shooter. It used to be like one at a time, so I'm glad I can do that now. So upgrading your mech is so important in this game. Alright, so we made some progress here. Let's wrap it up for the night. I love hauling an SC, but I know it can be kind of boring. But I'm really trying to get up to the point where I can unlock my whole C. So, but next time I'm on, I may try the Constellation, even though I've only got a Phoenix. See if I can go by faster. Since you gave me that tip. I mean, I like the Starlancer, but she does take a while to load and unload. Alright, we got some noxious weeds we gotta get rid of. Oh no. This part's kind of lame. Let me get my water gun. But these weed spores come and they kind of like drop all over the place. Ah, man. I don't know how I missed this one. Okay, it's not the type of weed I'm thinking of. The other ones kind of come in like, they're like pink globs and you shoot them with water. Oh, these guys are just landing all over the place. You guys will not destroy these crops that I work so hard on. Damn it. It is really weird. I promise I will never play another farming game on this channel. It's really not my style. But I can't say no to mechs. I mean, heck, I bought an Atlas Geo. Just completely useless. That was actually part of my plan today, was I was going to use a golem, which I've never used. And also, try out the Atlas Geo. Have you done any mining with the Atlas Geo? I don't even know if you're a miner. I'm more of a logistics kind of guy, so... Just, that's why I want to set up an org like that. I've got a bunch of big ships. And I need people to use them. And I'll probably even need people who can fight. I can't. Probably need a security department in this company I want to set up. Alright, let's get some water going here. I upgraded my water gun so I can do that. It used to be squirt squirt. It used to take forever. Alright, we're gonna get some more crops going. It takes a couple days for the crops to grow. As you can see, these are not done. Which suits me just fine because I don't want to spend all day just planting. Especially because I need to unlock larger planters. And it looks like the merchant's here to trade. Sorry, I just had to turn on music a little. Alright, let's see, seed cannon here. My seed. I know that can go so many different ways that I'm not even going to get into. Let's get some plants going here. I only have 2 left. That's lame. Alright, we'll switch to the blue ones. These are okay, but they're the most common ones, so I have the most of it. I need to really grow more wheat, which I know is super exciting. I have a radio tower also in the hills that we're trying to finish building, so I'm trying to figure out what resources I need to finish that up. But yes, it's just a casual game I can play in between. I work from home, so if I'm like bored in a moment, sometimes I'll flip this on. I tried to do Star Citizen a little bit earlier today, but I was at Seraphim Station and like people were dropping things out of the sky, like onto the station. I figured there's some sort of exploit going on, because this guy dropped like storage containers in such a way that it locked me inside the medbay, which really kind of annoys me when people do that. I know the trolls are like, haha, we got him, but it takes so long to do things in SCR already. I just kind of don't need that. But I don't know, have you seen that? Dan the man, Lightyear, what's going on, buddy? It's good to see you. Yes, I know it's been a long time since I've been on the mic. Well, not really that long, because JP can tell you I was here on Saturday for a 5-hour stream. That went way longer than I thought it was going to be. But it's good to see you, man. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And I know Memorial Day came up, so I didn't get to thank you in person for your service to this country. But thanks for all you do and what you have done. I'm doing better. I actually had to take some time off because earlier this year I had a surprise gallbladder incident. Went to the ER like 3 times before they decided they wanted to shank that thing out. So that kind of killed my January to like April, honestly. between that episode and then trying to decide what they were going to do with it, and then the recovery. So it was tons of fun. And then last year I was finishing up a postgraduate program. So, but anyway, I'm trying to get back into things because I miss streaming. I miss talking to the people. I can't say I miss Star Citizen. I took some time off of Star Citizen because I think this happens to a lot of people who play SC. You just get to a point where it kind of frustrates you, some of the madness that's going on. But when Invictus came around, I was like, okay, it's a good time to check back in with CIG and see what I'm missing. So that's what I did, and I would be mining today except for the fact that I can't seem to get on SC without spending at least 3 hours, and I don't have 3 hours tonight. That's cool. Have you been playing Scum with Bromway lately? I know she was telling me she plays a lot still. Our schedules have been so crazy, I haven't even been able to play with her lately. Although, here's the thing, guys. Dune is coming out, I think, next week. We are going to be hitting Dune hard. I played the beta. I got hooked on that sucker. I think it's kind of nice to see a game company come out with a game that's complete. I'm not used to that, being a Star Citizen for so long. You got burned on Scum? No way. You're like the original Scummer. You mean burnt like burned out, right? Or did the game itself like just do you dirty? So good to see you, man. I'm glad to see that you're doing well. I know you also had your challenges last year, shall we say. Much worse than mine. So glad to see you kick that. This part of the game kind of annoys me. I've upgraded my water tanks, but I still have not upgraded it enough. Awesome. Well, we all got to get together on the same server because yeah, that way we can pool our resources, because it seems to be all about the spice and the water in Dune. And from what I'm reading, like, the water is going to be a real pain in the butt. Very resource intensive game. But I love the fact that in Dune you can craft a lot of vehicles, like the Thropters and whatever that gosh, what do I want to say? It looks like an ATV kind of thing that you ride. It looks like a snowmobile that's really a desert mobile or whatever. But I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and a lot of us like crafting and stuff like that. This is like light crafting survival, kind of in a goofy way. Probably why I like it. It's very casual. That is absolutely great. I'm so glad to hear that you kicked cancer in the ass. That is awesome, man. Couldn't be happier for you and your family. I'm glad you did it. I feel like every other person in my life has been affected by cancer in one way or another. It really sucks. But it's good to see that treatments have gotten better. Alright, I forgot what I was doing, guys. I don't think I have enough upgrades to really work on this region. That's why I haven't been able to clean it up. It's only like 2% clean. We'll see. Maybe my latest upgrades will help. I definitely need better jets on this mech. Sheesh. Alright, we're not good enough to climb this yet. I feel like I'm doing Roblox parkour here. So, what else have you been playing, man? I know you recently got into SC a little bit. I want to... Gosh, this is the thing about SC. Everything takes like so long in Star Citizen. But I really want to tackle that worm. I mean, I know I'm going to get killed and all that stuff, but I want the experience. Say I was there. But I don't have the patience nor the time to do PTU right now. So I'm going to have to wait till it's released on the general public. Let's see. Where did I leave that radio tower? This vacuum sucker thing is kind of funny. Well, I guess a lot of things in this game are kind of funny. You ruins. These are alien ruins. I've found some artifacts in a few of them, but I'm not sure exactly what they do. This is one of those cases where I'll probably have to hop out of the mech. Yeah, here we go. I pull out my trusty pickaxe. Break, damn you. Okay.
Wait to analyze this.
You're doing the worm solo? Wow. Here's the thing with the worm. I hear there's like plenty of spots to get ganked.
What a fascinating
I hear there's like some sort of problem with the way they did the game design. And like as soon as you respawn back with all your weapons, like people know where you're going to respawn or something like that. So they can just easily gank you. But I gotta check it out anyway. I haven't really spent a lot of time in Pyro yet at all.
Wonder what this could be.
I'm just hanging out and standing for right now until I start to remember how to play. Because I already have enough problems playing normally. But when you spend a lot of time away from SC, there's a lot you have to relearn. All right, where did I leave my mech, guys? Anybody know where we parked? But as you can see, you don't need to spend 10 years and get a AAA studio and Mark Hamill to make a game where you can have a mech and jump out of it and be immersive. I mean, heck, this game looks like it was done with just Unity.
Still on the road.
You'll bring the ganking? Hey, let's do it all together. I mean, you know, it seems like JP, like, you know what you're doing, like you can handle yourself. I've got a Polaris. We could load that sucker up. I need somebody who knows how to use the Polaris. I've never used it. It's just been collecting dust in my hangar, honestly. But heck, I'd rather have a Polaris than an Idris. Ooh, there's a waterfall here. Here's the thing that's kind of annoying. If you fall in water, you will just die in this game. So we're going to try and avoid the water. Let's see, it's a good day it's a good year to be back into space games though. I mean, Elite Dangerous has done a lot of exciting things. Dune is coming out like we talked about earlier. A lot of good sci-fi stuff coming out. And Chris Roberts and Star Citizen are doing what they do every single year. Ew, I just realized I think slashing this way is slightly better. It's kind of annoying to me. I'd rather just hammer away like that. I don't care if it's more efficient. Although it doesn't appear to be. Anyway. Let's see, you got a Polaris? Oh, I'm on for your Perseus. Okay. No, I'm just a complete waste of space because I have a Perseus too, eventually when it comes out. I have a feeling the Perseus is really going to be like my main thing because, heck, most of the time I'm soloing anyway. I don't really have time to get too social with anybody unless I'm streaming. And I think, well, I mean, I could be wrong. They say they're bringing in engineering and all this other stuff, right? But I think you can reasonably maybe solo a Perseus with some blades. That's going to be my theory. You heard it here first. This is kind of pretty. Kind of purty. Alright, let's see what we need to do here. Alright, so we have fixed the ecosystem in this part. I need to fix it in this part in Edgecliff, but I think we need to upgrade the mechs some more. And then these areas here I have not explored yet. So maybe we can get over there. Let's see what it's like. Oh, we're about to be encumbered though, so I should actually go back. Let me suck up these seeds though. It's my seed. Alright, let's let's head back this way. So NSC, what have you been up to, Dan? I know when we met you were mining. I got a golem, but I haven't used it yet. So actually, I was gonna do like a mining Monday if I had more time, but I thought to myself, once I get started with SC, I'm not gonna get off here till like 3 a.m. and it's gonna totally wreck me for some of my meetings in the morning. At least this I can casually pick it up and put it back down. Let's see, did we feed this habitat yet? I don't think so, because I don't have a marker on it.
Oh, it's stunning up close.
Nice. Alright, let's, oh no, I do have it marked off, okay. But it's in the meadow. Huh. Interesting. I thought I had done that one. Alright, let's feed this one over here too then. Before we head back to the mothership. Bounties? I've got a, I got one of those Fury, I always want to say keys, Fury keys, I don't know. Scarlett stopped by the other night and she sold me on it. And I got it, and it's kind of cool, I like it, but the pews are a little slow for me. I'm not getting that repeater action that I'm used to. But yeah, that was my second thing to get into. Before I make the jump to Pyro, I figure I'll do some bounties, so at least I have an idea of how to fire the gun again. Not that I ever did it well, but at least I'll have an idea of how to fight back a little bit. I myself, I like flying a Star Lancer, but JP over there tells me he loves to shoot down Star Lancers and Pyro. He says, go for the thrusters. So yeah, I need that Drake heavy transport ship so I can do my space trucking in peace. Damn it. Although it probably won't be in peace. Let's collect some coal here before we head back. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the Guardian key. I don't know why I always want to say Fury. I guess because they're both by Mariah. That, and what can I say, man? I feel like I'm getting old. I can't keep track of all these freaking names. And the longer it takes for the game to come out, the more ships they keep introducing, and the more names I have to remember, what they do, and all that stuff, and it's just overwhelming. So I have to use sites like the CCU game to keep it all straight. But yeah, the reason why I like the Guardian is it has a bed. It kind of replaced the Vanguard for me, which I used to like a lot. But hey man, who doesn't like the TIE Fighter aesthetic? Since it's got a bed, I don't necessarily have to like fly back to the station when I'm done. It's all good. It may be my home away from home in Pyro. Who knows? Let me see if I can finish this fence here. That I was working on. There we go. Alright, we still need to drop off all of these materials we gathered and figure out what we're crafting. You like the F8 Lightning, huh? Well, here's something that's really stupid. But why did they stop selling the Hornet Mark 1s? I kind of realized that a little too late. I have one. Well, I have the Love Seeker one on my streaming account, and then on my main account, I happen to have one in buyback, so I'm gonna buy it back. But it's just like an artificial, whatever you call it, basically a money grab by them. Although I kind of like the idea of making a ship rare, because I mean everything seems like you can just swipe a card in this game. Not this game, Star Citizen we're talking about. Let's drop some wood. Oh no, I need that wood actually. Let me see if I can finish my planter over here before we put stuff away. Oh, looks like I already finished it. Yeah, so I can put it away. Losing my mind, guys. I gotta upgrade my jets. Well, among other things. Alright, let's drop some wood here. We're gonna hold on to the seeds for now. Are you still streaming, Dan? I put away some stone here. Let's see, Mental Giraffe 8 Lightning. YCIG, stop. Selling the Mark 1 Hornets is because they are the best. You know, so I'm not very good at combat, so I love the light fighters, but I tend to use the heavy fighters because I can survive longer with them, even though they're slower. But I do like the arrow, although I do end up passing out in the arrow quite a bit. Darn, I forgot to go to sleep before the day cycle was over. Yeah. That's cool. Hope I can catch one of your streams.
Nothing like a good night's rest.
I've been meaning to catch Scarlet so I can give her a hard time the way she used to give me a hard time. Like payback. I was surprised she got into streaming, but she's doing pretty good. Last time I heard. She's got the anime bouncing physics in all the right places, if you know what I mean. Let's see, they can't fix them because the guy who made the Mark 1 was Chris himself. Yeah. You know what the Mark 1 kind of reminds me of, and the reason why I liked it originally is it reminds me of one of the original Wing Commander ships. It's got that classic look to it. I didn't know he designed the ship himself, though. But you said it needs to be fixed, but you also said it's the best. So I'm a little confused. Is it too OP? Is that why they stopped selling it? It's kind of funny because they're like, well, we can't take it away from everybody who bought it, probably. So we'll just make it special, which I'm all for that because on my main account, I actually had a Saber Raven, you know, back when that was like really hard to find. You had to like get a Intel SSD. I actually bought mine pretty cheap on the black market before, you know, it became like popular. But then they just released like the, what do you call it, Saber Peregrine and all those other ones, so it's no longer that special anymore. It's only the Raven variant. Well, I would love to have that conversation with you and hear that for sure about why the ships won't change. Why my stream avatars is broken? Alright, let's focus here. Let's figure out what I need to do here to upgrade the mech. For a few reasons. I'm trying to upgrade the mech so that I can get far enough to build a little spaceship there that you see over there. It looks like a Winnebago. It gives me Spaceballs vibes. The cutter does the same thing to me though. The cutter I feel like is the Spaceballs Winnebago ship of Star Citizen. Alright, we need red lenses. Speaking of Winnebagos, the merchant just arrived. Let's see. What the heck is a red lens and how do I find it? That's the question. I may have to Google that. I originally got this game though because it kind of reminded me of No Man's Sky's style. No Man's Sky, yeah. Why can't I say that? I'm gonna talk to the merchant here. Maybe they sell the red lenses.
Hey there. What will
Might save me some time. Let's see. I want to go to some mech parts, maybe. Nope, not here. Looks like I'm gonna have to sell some stuff just to afford something from her anyway. Large wooden foundation. Okay, that's interesting. It's probably for me to craft my place. Okay, I don't care about any of this stuff, lady. And I'm probably gonna have to like look up and break how to create red lenses, as well as aluminum parts. I didn't buy anything from you, so I'm not sure we did any business. Let's see, make a list of the ship you want to talk about, like the cutter, and why it's the best starter ship. Okay, I totally agree with you that the cutter is the best starter ship. However, my tracking died again. However, I just personally like the Intrepid more. Maybe it's my Crusader fanboyness, I don't know. I'm a very Drake guy, though. I mean, I went to CitizenCon wearing a Drake hat. I mean, Drake, in a lot of ways, is the best brand. It's also got that underdog feel to it. But, you know, I think we talked about this the other day. When I like to go out and have a good time, I want to do it in the Origin. Sometimes in the Crusader. And if I have to do like heavy industry, it seems like the Drakes are better for that. Which is why I feel like I may have made a mistake and I pledged for the Kraken. Which is probably going to be the only capital ship I will pledge for. I believe I gotta feed these guys all over again. Alright, so we need to be able to make steel electronics. My problem is usually when you find new stuff, it'll unlock new blueprints, but I haven't been able to unlock anything but these. Which were kind of okay for the basic upgrades, but we need more. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll go to the region I haven't been to yet and see if I can find something new there. We'll set that marker there. And what's going on with the economy here? Maybe I should sell my rods. My rods. Let's see, you'll teach me all the tricks. All the big streamers now? Please, I need any help I can get. I will always, you know, just be a okay pilot. And okay is being very generous. However, I did figure out how to tune my VKB sticks, so I feel like I've got more control now. It's kind of funny because on my cheap Thrustmasters, I was actually flying a little bit better, and then when I got the VKBs, it was like too sensitive. I hate when one song is like dramatically louder than the last. I also wish I had more thrust in that. More thrust. Still trying to remember how I organized my stream deck from back in the day. Okay, I have not been to this region, or at least this part of Edgecliff. Carrots! Okay, I've been looking for these. God, I'm so excited about farming. Just really weird, because I am not a nature boy whatsoever. But that means we can grow some new crops and get some new recipes I need. Boy. We talk about this, JP. What is your favorite ship, since you are the exploiter and like to shoot people down? Some more carrots, awesome. Let's see, can I cut this? Yes, copper, that should unlock some new stuff for us too. I don't know why I didn't come back here sooner. Yes, the copper wire, that's what I need. All started to come together now. I'm not sure what the flower press will do, but I just need springs to make my mech better. Let me just check the map here real quick. Alright. Going into uncharted territory here. That is so dope. I felt like I was in what's that mech movie? Pacific Rim. Best mech movie ever. You're serious about the cutter? Like, that's no joke. No, I'm kidding. I like the cutter too. However, I've got a cutter scout and rambler, and I'm not sure why. I don't think they're good for anything. Alright, I don't think I upgraded my vacuum yet. Yes, we only have a vacuum 1. So we're gonna have to upgrade the vacuum and come back here. Let's see what other new resources are here before I head back to base. I wonder if I need to make a base here. Yeah, looks like we found a nest. Doesn't seem like I can feed it yet, though. What we should do is mark it off on the map anyway, so I can find it later. World map here. Oh, that's weird. It's not. Why want it? Usually it shows the map. That's why I'm thrown for a loop right now. Maybe I have to explore enough of the region. Alright. Anyway, we're gonna mark this off as animals there. Let's see how far we can get before nightfall. Yeah, for kind of a cartoony game, I think the graphics are kind of nice in this. It's definitely relaxing. You know, like another hidden SC After Dark. Well, I'm all ears. I want to know all the tricks. I need all the help I can get. However, I've been playing on and off for a few years. I feel like I at least have an idea of how the community works. Maybe not all the ins and outs of the game. You know, one thing I really need a lot of help with is the FPS part of Star Citizen. Many have tried, but failed to teach me. 'Cause I'm a tough student when it comes to that. Actually, we should refill the water. Spraying away that noxious slime helps us restore the environment here. Not familiar with these bushes. Let's see what they give us. Just a normal plant fibers. Well, that's cool. Okay, so the swipe works better on some things than others. Got it? Alright. Cooking with gas. You can play this with 4 of your friends, but I really feel like I think what it's missing is kind of like a combat mode. Okay, this is cliffs we got going on here. Well, that's gonna be a problem because our mech cannot swim. Supposedly, if you upgrade this thing enough, though, it transforms into I think like a tractor or some sort of tank or something like that. Becomes a Nova tank. I'm just gonna check the map real quick. I know when I saw that I was like, ooh, it comes with a gun, and turns out it's just like a seed shooting gun. I know nothing, huh? That's the great thing about streaming is like there's always somebody to tell you you know nothing or you suck. But come on, man, I must know something. I'm concierge 2 times over. I know how to be a whale. That's about it. So, I felt like the game was going to crash. Although I must say, I would not have gotten into Concierge had Chris released the game at least 5 years sooner than where we're at right now. Yeah, let's see. I am my game does not like this region for some reason. I almost want to save and quit and then come back so I don't lose my progress here. Alright, let's see where my inventory's at. Okay, we're gonna head back to base because I think I have enough materials to start building some things. And I gotta grow those carrots because I need some carrot oil. Let's see. Go over here. But yeah, I feel like I'm... What the hell is this? Finally learning the master modes, and then I hear it's going to change, so we'll see. We shall see. This is weird. I'm just trying to see what this is. It goes to that sort of beacon thing. Alright, I think once we improve our jets, we'll be able to fly over there. And get to the bottom of that. For right now, though, let's head back before we get encumbered. Take that, slime. That hose looks like I'm doing something else. Yeah, it's only 2%. Usually in a lot of the other regions, it kind of brings it down by a higher percentage. I'm not trying to call you a noob. Noob. That's okay. I know that I am very limited in some of my SC skills. But I like to have fun, and I like the immersiveness of the game. But if you can help me out with some of the stuff like you're saying, fighting with the orcs and all that stuff, I'd appreciate it, because eventually, hopefully I'm not in the retirement home, but eventually the game will come out, and I want to be playing, and I want to be able to go to like any system, you know? And I'm not saying I want to stay in systems, but like systems like Pyro, I'd imagine if I can trade there, it's probably going to be a little bit more lucrative. Not to mention the danger kind of pumps the adrenaline in my blood. Let's see, can I make this jump? I don't think I can. We're not encumbered yet though, so let's give it a shot. Yes, we did it. Yeah, I should save us some time. 'Cause I'm scared of the dark. Welcome back. What am I going to do the voice chat? I was going to set it up on Wednesday because I don't feel like fixing it right now. I've got to fix it so that it's on stream, otherwise it's going to sound like I'm just talking to myself. But I think it's awesome that you want to get on voice. That'll definitely help out, especially if you're going to teach me stuff. I have not done my inaugural jump to Pyro yet. Are you playing in Pyro, Netgear? I guess I'm not too excited because I played the beta at the last CitizenCon in LA. So I kind of know what to expect a little. But I know they've added quite a bit since then, so. I know it's a lot bigger, so. This definitely adds some more variety, but I feel like it's safer for me to train in stands and. So. Been there a couple times, no big deal. Nobody like JP shooting you down. I guess it's big enough that you can probably do a lot in Pyro without really running into people. You'll have to see. Every station's crappy like Grim Hex, I take it. Yes, I want the whole world to hear you giving us lessons. No, but it's okay. If you're shy, I can, we can do a session off stream. It is no big deal. But yeah, I would like to catch up with you. It's a lot easier in voice for sure. This is some space farming music here. All my cousins missing teeth in their space mechs. Okay, I didn't read the part where you said you're down for that. Yeah, as long as you're not, if you're not shy, we could use it. Just keep it useful. Don't lead us astray. I doubt I'm gonna make it before it forces me to go to sleep. But we'll try. This map's big enough that I'm probably gonna have to build a cabin down there. One nest fed. This crappy forest here I grew all myself. Trying to repopulate some of the trees I killed. Oh, don't flip over. It's kind of funny when the mech falls down, you can like flip it over with your hands pretty easily. All right, I'll save the game here. Drop off some stuff. You are not shy, Dan. Don't listen to him. He streams. He's not that shy.
Good night's sleep. The crops won't need watering since it's raining today, and that leaves a heap of time for other fun activities.
I find that robot annoying, but it's my only friend on this planet, so we have to put up with it. That's pretty much why I have Counselor Troy, my voice attack in Star Citizen. So I feel like I'm not alone in my ship. I can talk to her, to radio for landing and stuff. See, that's the kind of immersion I have to add, because Star Citizen, with its NPCs frozen and standing on things, is not immersive enough for me. Alright, looks like some things have grown. Yeah, I'll just collect these guys and then we'll see what we can do with our new recipes. Can't believe that stuff hasn't grown yet. Gee, this thing really sucks. If you know what I mean. Alright, let's fill in here. A seed shooter. I need this stuff to grow faster. It's like the stuff that grows very fast, of course you get too much of it. I also need to learn how to make like larger planers. But hey, we're getting there. It's not too bad for only a day of playing. Alright. Oof. Stuck the landing there, didn't I?
Some things you just have to do yourself.
Yep. We just flip my mech over like that. One-handed. No big deal. Alright, let's make some more oil here. I forgot to plant the carrots, didn't I? Damn it. Guess we need carrot oil. Alright, you start pressing that out for me. Never get enough plant oil. Alright, let's see if I got some new recipes here. Yes, finally something new. Some copper wire. Oh sweet, we got copper ore. I'm gonna go mining for some more. And I need the aluminum electronics. Awesome. Awesome. You guys don't know how long I've been waiting to get some aluminum electronics. So you're waiting so you can talk to AI crew.
1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me properly? My name is Alf, and I live on the planet next door. I have a proposal. You see,
I thought this was JP talking.
I'm a botanic scientist, and seeing that you're a farmer and all, maybe we could do some form of collaboration. It would be easier to explain what I can offer you in person. So, if it's not too much of a bother, I need you to prepare me a place to land on. It will be worth your while. Promise.
Build a neighbor outpost, huh? Sounds like this is going to be like one of those house guests that you can't get rid of. Alright, I need to make one more aluminum electronic, which means I need more springs, more copper wire. Copper ore. Where was the copper again? Oh darn, I think that was way down there. Alright, before we go, let's in for more copper. Let's make sure that we are less encumbered. I'll drop you off here. I feel like, let me check here with the upgrades real quick. I feel like I can use those aluminum parts or something already. Aluminum here, it's no good without a power core. Red crystal dusts. I feel like I know where to get red crystals from. Red crystal dust. Question is, how do I make it? Oh, we got some new toys to play with here. The grinder and the assembler. Okay. All right, let's create a mission. Guess I need to build that. And we need to build a grinder. Got a lot going on here. Alright, let's go get some resources. To the mech. Oh, I'm sure you have a good voice. I don't think I have a good voice. And I have a face for radio. As they say. Just kidding. You guys would have to ask Bromway someday. If she can ever make a stream. Elon Musk has made her office very difficult. And I have a bone to pick with him about my car. I feel like I had my car, I got a Tesla and I had it in autopilot and it ran over a cone the other day. And I'm thinking, there's no way in hell this thing is going to be a robo-taxi. There. Let's get some rods here. Of course, where we live, we have the Waymos, which are another form of robo-taxi from Google. They seem to drive okay, but they can be kind of annoying too. Tell me why I have an animated character instead of my real face. Well, for a couple of reasons. A, it's a lot easier for me to play with the animated character because where I live, it's like bedtime, so I'm like in my pajamas. So I don't think anybody really wants to see that right now. And I just thought it was more fun. There's more stuff I can do with it. But if I ever make it to like 500 followers, let's say, I'll do the face reveal. I don't think it's going to be that exciting for people. But yeah, it allows me to basically be doing this in my pajamas. So you guys know the truth. I'm in my pajamas right now. Shame is me. Woe is me. But as soon as I'm done playing, I'm going to go to bed. Which is why we're playing this cozy game. Alright, did that. So you only play the Star Citizen? Like nothing else? Because I think it's unhealthy to just play one game. Although for a little while I was only doing SC. I wouldn't say I was doing it well, but I was doing it. Alright, I'm looking for red crystals, right? Yeah. Gotta stay focused. Where did I see these crystals? They're somewhere around here with some more aluminum. It can be fun though. I guess I could have just done no character at all, and I know some people do that. Right, do the PNG tubers. You said you want to start streaming, so how are you going to do it? Right, where are my aluminum rods? Everybody wants my rod. I'm just kidding. So inappropriate. I think I marked the stream adults only. Finally, some crystals. I have to figure out how to grind these into dust, but I think for that, we're going to have to build that grinder. And for the grinder, I think we need more aluminum right now, so I'm probably gathering the wrong stuff. Let's go find some aluminum. There's a lot of good seeds I can use here, though, so that's good. Alright. Played everything. You're now 34. Well, Sonny. I'm just kidding. I'm a little bit older than you are. Let's just say me and Dan were there from the beginning. Forget about 8-bit. We were there for 2-bit. I think my first graphics card, I believe, was a Hercules card. So you'd have to look that one up. Because I don't think they definitely don't exist anymore. But it's more like computer trivia at this point. It's so old. 18 plus on my stream. Yeah, thanks for the tip. I'm gonna have to do that. So I'm just too inappropriate. Alright, let's get these aluminum rods, guys. But anyway, I can... Okay, so you're old enough to have played the original Wing Commander then. I was like in high school, yeah, when I think Wing Commander 1 came out. Possibly Wing Commander 2, I was still in high school, I can't recall. But the fact that I remember that has me worried that Chris Roberts may drop dead before this project's done. We were joking about this the other day, but I honestly think that EA would have gotten Star Citizen out by now. You may not fully like it, but it would have been out. I need to get some more aluminum rod, but we are encumbered, so let's go drop this stuff off. You did play Wing Commander. Did you play it like when it first came out though, or did you get it like in its reawakening? Because I'm talking like the original PC version, not the one that came out for like Sega CD and all that other stuff eventually. It's refreshing to talk to people who've actually heard of it though, because a lot of other people are kind of like, Sega CD, what is that? These kids these days, they don't even remember the Dreamcast. 1 billion in crowdfunding. That's after Invictus, right? Because I know going into Invictus it was like at 800 million, I believe. Which begs the question, how many millions do you need to produce a game? That's why I say I feel like it's just not a scam, but could possibly be managed just a tad bit better. Just my opinion. And I mean, I have worked for software companies, and mind you, they weren't game companies. I know that everybody's always going to be like, "Oh, you don't understand game design," but I do understand having to meet deadlines. Because you've got shareholders to answer to. Unfortunately, it's just us they have to answer to, so they can say, heck no, do what we want to do. But I don't know, after 10 years, I start to lose a little faith. Call me crazy. Speaking of which, have you guys, I was joking about this on stream, and then some guy came out with the idea. Have you seen the Church of Star Citizen page that came out? The guy's pretty much talking about the psychology of a whale and how the White Knights will defend this game till the end. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you got a Pentium. I remember those guys. But let me ask you. Did you have like a 486 with a turbo button on it? I'm not sure the turbo switch actually did something, but it was pretty cool to see. Turbo. Yeah, but who put out Helldivers again? Are you talking about Helldivers 1 or Helldivers 2? Because I think it was kind of a continuous stream. The GTAs take a while to come out too, but even they've come out sooner than this. Grand Theft Auto, I think, takes like at least 5 years, probably like 8 years of development. I don't know off the top of my head. But come on, man, Star Citizen's going on 11 years here. 11 freaking years. Do you know how much more hair I had when I started pledging for Star Citizen? Alright, I lost my train of thought. What was I doing here? So, JP, you're pretty happy with how Star Citizen's progressing in its timelines? So let me tell you, I felt lied to. When I saw Chris Roberts come on stage, I saw him face to face. Come on out there and tell me that Squadron 42 is feature complete. Leading me to believe it was going to come out soon. But the joke was on me, that's for sure. TRS-80, I remember those suckers. Guess what? My first computer was a TI-99 4A. They competed with the TRS-80s. So you remember the Tandies, don't you? So funny. It's like your first car, your first computer. I had a Texas Instrument 99 4A. People probably only think TI made graphing calculators, but they made computers at some points. And then after that, I had an IBM PC Junior. That kind of took me to high school, in which I begged my father, begged the man for a 386. 386, and I found the cheapest 386. It was a very generic one out of a computer magazine. We ordered that because there was no Amazon. God, I sound like such an old man. All right, let me stop reminiscing here and focus on the task at hand. Oh, we need more springs, right? Did I grab enough copper ore? I don't think I did. Yeah, I need to focus more. Okay, we need to go on a copper expedition. Let's do it. Yeah, Tandy, TRS-80s were cool. I always wanted, you remember the Atari ST? I couldn't convince my parents to get me that one. I wanted that, and then after that I wanted the Commodore 64, because that was, I feel like the Commodore 64 was like the shit back then. It was like the gaming computer. And then after that, the Amigas were like, I feel like the Amigas are like what Apple kind of became, because Apple back then was kind of lame if you ask me. With their little black and white boxes. Apple IIe's and all that. Gosh, I can't believe I remember all this stuff. Gotta say, we lived through this. The kids are probably like, what? But yeah, it's cool. If you're in your 30s, then I give you OG credits. That's old enough to be OG. 8-bit baby. That's right. Remember the Nintendo seal of approval? Is it the seal of approval? I can't recall. Anyway, that was a big deal. And then Nintendo Power. I remember when I was in school, I wanted the Power Glove. All that crap. Robbie the Robot. I was more of a Sega guy myself, though. That was all about the Master System, which I felt was superior. I still feel that way. It just didn't get the traction. Alright, we need to head off here to the left. It's a good thing I have a marker, because I've got no sense of direction. Oh, man. So, I ran a BBS board for a quick second. My parents wouldn't pay for the second phone line. Oh my gosh, you're taking me back. I can hear the sound of the modem in the background, like. But okay, so if you remember BBS's, do you remember the early MMOs like Trade Wars? I used to love that game. It was so funny because you would like log in, take your turn, and then log off. Somebody else logs in and takes their turn. I've got to see if I can find information on Trade Wars, because I wasted a lot of time in that game. But that was the original. Think about it. That was the original Freelancer. If you think about it. Right, graphics were. I mean, there were no graphics. It's pretty much in your head. Maybe that's what Chris Roberts ripped off. Now we go back down this way. Yeah, but BBS is, wow, you're taking me back. Do you remember IRC? Kind of predated AOL chat. Before You've Got Mail. You've got mail. Yeah, those were different times. Oh.
Oh, I forgot to mention this door. It completely slipped my mind. Did some scans on it many years ago, but the readings were mostly nonsense. Now hang on a second. The energy readings are spiking right now. Could this place have been activated somehow? But it looks like it's got a bit more to go. Whatever we've been doing around here, let's keep doing it.
Every region we unlock seems to be unlocking one of these rings, one of these gears, so eventually we'll be able to get in there. I don't know how the robot missed that all these years, though. kind of AI is he? Alright, and I'm kind of off course here, but we'll see if we can course correct after we get over this hill. Let's see, did I know Freelancer used to take up the same PCUs as Idris? No, I did not know that. That's pretty crazy though. I do know that Chris Roberts horribly mismanaged Freelancer though. Wait, was it Freelancer? I can't remember which one it was. No, Privateer. I think it was Privateer that he mismanaged and they kicked him off of it. And I don't know why I'm trying to spray that, because I need a upgrade to my hose. I believe the publisher pretty much fired him because they were like, this is taking too long. I mean, not our Chris Roberts, of course. I can't see that happening. Oh, man. Yes, IRC, we are very old. Internet relay chat. Yeah, but I remember everything. Telnet. Was it X modem? TTY. My father, yeah, a little Astro Nesto lore here. My father was a college professor, so he would get extra stuff from the university to take home when they were done with it. And I had one of these old style, like 60s or 70s dumb terminals. And I hooked that sucker up to like a 300 baud modem. And that's how I was getting on BBSs for a while. But yeah, back then, you know, back in the War Games days, if anybody remembers that, maybe. Those are the cool things to do. If you were a nerd. And I was definitely a nerd. See, Freelancer is made by someone that worked for another game engine. So a lot of shit was copy and paste. I'd have to go back and look at that. I was pretty sure Chris Roberts had something to do with Freelancer. I thought it was his baby. I could be remembering it wrong now. It's not Privateer though, because I know he came out with that one and he came out with Privateer 2, because I had bought those games if I recall. Which, by the way, I enjoyed the Privateer games more than the Wing Commander ones. It's just the way I am. It's just more my style. I think because those were like more open-ended. They're more like what the original Elite Dangerous was. I feel like Elite Dangerous was more popular in Europe. Let's see. I thought I could have sworn I had seen the copper out here somewhere. We need copper. Coyotes and Hornets were all made. I definitely believe the Hornet. I mean, they're RSI ships, right? Robert Space Industries, so I can believe that. You really made the Hornet, though? I mean, not the Hornet, the Constellation. I know he did a lot of the coding on the original Wing Commander, but I didn't know that he could do like 3D modeling and whatnot. But yeah, I believe I saw an interview where he was talking about, you know, sometimes he rolls up his sleeves and does the coding, you know, in the early Star Citizen days. I was thinking, come on, man, you're just trying to flex. You don't really code anymore. But maybe he does. You have to admit, though, Chris has kind of gone radio silent. Doesn't come out very much anymore. Have they silenced him because he's always dropping these deadlines that he can't meet? Who knows? Anyway, I do hope that his world, his vision does come out. It's definitely been our playground. And I've made some good friends in there. And other friends like Bromway has sucked into it, where they wasted a lot of money. Let's see. I'm completely lost on where I found that copper ore. As soon as we find it, we're going to mark it off on the map. I almost said calendar there. Yeah, he totally needs a time management course. I mean, well, you're a manager, Dan. I mean, like, could you still have a job if your teams did not make your deadlines? Like, it's a fantasy world. However, I guess when you own a company, you set your own deadlines, but still. I keep on thinking that this funding model doesn't really work, but then, you know, you stop in here and you tell me they've crossed $1 billion, so. I keep thinking, like, how long can they continue to do it that way? I know, me personally, I have bought less spaceships in Star Citizen this year than I would say in the last previous 5 years. I bought the most ships during COVID, probably just out of boredom, and you know, unfortunately, I lost my father in COVID before the vaccines, you know, were available. So it was kind of something I was working through, and Star Citizen was a good distraction for that. Then it didn't help that I inherited some money too, as a result of that. So yeah, I definitely spent too much. And I had a very bad therapist that was like, hey, if it makes you feel okay, it's okay. Go ahead and do it. Which is not advice I give to anybody. Thanks, JP. I appreciate it. But anyway, I'm just trying to explain the psychology of a whale. But yeah, it was a really good distraction. Star Citizen was kind of on a good patch back then. This is probably like the 310, somewhere between the 310 to the 314 days, I think. And I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna come out. This is gonna happen. Let's see. Destiny 2 still made more money than SC. Well, I could believe it. I mean, Destiny 2 actually released, so that's one thing. It's multi-platform, so that's another thing. Kind of reaches a larger audience, I think. I think SC gives you a very unique experience, but it also really only appeals to a certain segment of game players. There's new players that get sucked into it every year, for sure. But, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not a cheap game to get into, right? You gotta have, like, whale money. You think Jared's useless? Wow. Tell us how you really feel. Some copper, finally. Let's mark this area off. It's the copper mines. Copper and carrot. I will say, I think Jared and the team have really had a bad year. Less content came out this year, that's for sure. But there have been some years where I felt like what they were doing was the highlight for me. I don't see a symbol here that kind of says copper-ish. We'll just use a question mark. Like the Riddler. It could be just me personally, though, because I personally had to take a break from Star Citizen. I just needed a break from it because I was in a bad place with it. It was frustrating me that it hadn't come out yet. I felt like I had wasted my money, my life, all kinds of other things. But I just got tired, too. It's like, there's only so much of one game that I can play, and especially a buggy game at that. Like I was telling JP the other night, I was watching Morphologist before I came on stream, and he was trying to do the sandworm thing. It was buggy as hell, and he just kind of like lost his stuff on stream. He was like, this is ridiculous. CIG needs to make a game, you know? It's like, I work like all week, and I come on here to relax and have a good time, and this is what happens. Which, yeah, I get. I think most of us here work. You have to work full time to afford a ship in Star Citizen. At least a good one. So it would be nice to come on and get a halfway decent experience. I wish I wasn't so encumbered. I really have to increase my storage space. You need a Sherpa for SC like you. You know, I kind of agree with that. If you're in a good org, it kind of works out. For a little while, I was like in a cool mining org. They're still very active, but that's back when I had more time. I don't have very much time, and I meant to harvest these guys, not cut them up. Alright, let's head back to Mother Base because we are way overcumbered. But I also got what I needed, which was the ore. But, don't get me wrong too, I mean, I'm kind of like giving SE a hard time, but I definitely love what they've done with the hauling, especially because that was a gameplay loop I was looking forward to. It's gotten better, although it takes a lot longer to load your ship, that's for sure. But, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You can now have dedicated boxers, I guess. Like, I mean, there's going to be some days where I don't mind just boxing. But even the act of boxing is not like hardcore gaming. It's like, hey, you know, shoot your tractor beam, which doesn't make any sense that it's that powerful, but hey, shoot it and move a box from here to there. So I think that may appeal to older gamers like us who, you know, looking for a little bit of some immersion, excuse me, but it's kind of like a mini game. That's, you know, maybe some days that's all you want to do is just do something mindless like that. I'm sure not every day you want to take on a sandworm. However, another thing, man, I'm on a real like SC rant tonight, huh? Doing the sandworm or Siege of Warson or those sorts of things, these are like really big investments in time. Like we're talking like 2 to 3 hours probably to get through the whole thing. And that's something I struggle with having enough time to do as well too. And I'm super over encumbered, but what the heck, I'm just gonna keep collecting. I gotta walk through here anyway. I will say, JP, you were a great Sherpa as far as helping me out with some of the settings in Star Citizen. I think I'm a reasonably smart guy, but there's just so many of them. It seems like you're pretty good at getting a lot out of older hardware. Hammering away. By the way, JP, because of you, I ended up returning my Asus motherboard. Which I'm kind of sad about, because now I've got to wait like 15 days for a refund before I can buy the other motherboard. I think I'm targeting a gigabyte. However, I am glad that you told me, because I did do some of the research. You're absolutely right. It was frying some of the AMD chips. And also, I realized I had gotten like a B series board, and what I really needed was like an X series board, because I need the extra storage for some of the video editing and stuff that I do. So, thanks for stopping me from making a huge mistake. My PC build is delayed now. The new gaming build is going to be delayed by a couple weeks, but I think I'll feel better. I mean, these parts are very expensive, so you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your investment. The only thing I hate right now is the price of GPUs. Yeah, I'm on an Asus right now, and it did me okay. But, you know, this is like, again, I built this machine during COVID, so it's about time for it to be replaced, and stuff has changed. But the other reason why I'm doing it too is, let me drop off my stuff first. The other reason why I'm doing it is because it's my first time switching to AMD. And I want to make sure I have the best experience possible, so I'm glad by chance we happened to talking about that. We happened to talk about that. Sorry, I'm like making up speech here, and that you stopped me. Because if nothing else, even if I stuck with the Asus, it was the wrong board for me. I wanted to be able to use more SATA drives with my NVMEs, and the board I had was kind of limited on the SATA side. There's a lot of stuff here I want to carry over. Alright, I'm still like super over encumbered, so let's see what we can do here. I have to build another storage box, aren't I? Dang it. Alright, let's build something. Oh, that's cool. We got some new items. Okay, those are decorations. Weather station. Interesting. I'll have to see what that does, but for right now we need storage. Oh, and this is the landing pad for our friend. Okay. That's cool. We'll make that stuff. And what is this? Like a goalpost? Yeah, it literally is a goalpost. I think we can pass on the goalposts, but right now we need more storage. If these barrels hold more. I don't know what's the best way to build a warehouse in here. I'm just kind of making a makeshift one in my backyard for right now. Alright, let's build this out. Hopefully I chopped enough trees, and I did. Storage is definitely an issue in this game. Oh, we got plenty of copper ore. We should be in good shape, guys. Let's see, full-size ATX and just do the CPIE. You mean PCIe, yeah. The glitch and get 6 SSDs on board. Huh. Well, I'll have to look that one up. You know, one thing that's kind of annoying me is when I built this machine, like the coolers on the NVMEs were, you know, they weren't included on the motherboard. Now this new generation they are, so the NVMEs I have in this one had the coolers on them, and unless I carefully remove those coolers off of them, I probably can't carry it over to my new board. So I'll have to buy some new ones. Which kind of sucks, because I overpaid for some Samsung ones last time around that I wanted to keep. So I'll probably end up removing the cooler or getting the card. Alright, let's see, where do we leave off here? We are going to need some copper wires here. And now I can make the electronics. Let's see, let's build a landing pad so that the guy who talks like JP wishes he talks like it could land. Where was that again? It was around here, okay. This one we're gonna need aluminum frame and aluminum electronics. Okay, we can make those things. So we should have our friend landing soon. Just not sure where I want to put his landing pad. Yeah, I'm gonna try to put it maybe across the street or something. Luckily you can move stuff around. Right now we're just going to try to build stuff and get it done. I kind of want him to land near my merchant though. So let's move this project out of the way because it's a project I can't finish right now anyway. So we're going to relocate you. So put you off to the side here for right now. I'm gonna Bago. And let's get back to building. And I kind of want the steps to face the road here because I'm a dork. I'm all about immersion, guys. And I'm so full of it. The word of the day is immersion. It's everything that's going away. Sesame Street. So sad. This game is actually multiplayer. I think I would have to invite you guys in though.
You're well this fine morning. Why don't we try and
Like I
plant
can
some
give you a
seeds
code.
today, huh? Always good to have more crops in the harvest cycle.
But if anybody has the game, I will give you that code. You can join in my crappy world here. Although I'm making it better.
I don't like the look of this.
Noxious bubbles. Oh no. Stay away from my crops. Stay away from my crops. You damn bubbles. We must stop these bubbles. Just gotta hose these suckers down. See, if I don't, then they explode and damage my crops. I can't have that. I'm running out of water though. You gotta clean up the slime that they leave behind. Ah, geez, more coming. Stay away from my crops. Who would have thought space farming could be so exciting? There. Yeah, I feel like this is a cross between Farmville and Mechs. What's the other farming game do you play? I don't really play that many farming games. Ah, jeez, I gotta clean up that mess. Fine. He destroyed some of my crops. Damn you, bubbles. Damn these bubbles all the way to hell. For some reason, when I was in the hospital preparing for my gallbladder surgery, the only thing I was playing was like a marathon of the Planet of the Apes movies. So I saw like the old ones, I saw the Mark Wahlberg one, and I saw some of the new ones. But I'm just sick of Planet of the Apes. Even though the surgery was like well over a month ago. But I still remember them all. So anyway. Damn them all to hell. I was lying out of those movies. So I think it was. Suck these guys up. At least what's ready to be plucked. These guys will make my valuable oils. Let's see, FS25. Oh, you play Farming Simulator. Get out of here. Do you have like the farming rig? I'm not trying to get into Farming Simulator, but this is how stupid I am. I've been buying all the American Truck Simulator games, and I don't play them at all. But I've been buying all the expansions. So I think I have almost all of the United States. At least as many of as they have released. I got the steering wheel and everything, but I just haven't had time to actually play the thing. I get all these grand ideas in my head, and then the reality is actually having the time to do it. Alright, let's shoot our new carrots out. I want to give them their own pot though. Let's fill those guys up. Farming Simulator is like hardcore farming now. The only thing that game is missing is never mind, I'm not gonna make the joke. Not gonna go there in today's political climate. Let's just say the only thing the game is missing is a questionable workforce. Boom. That's pretty cool. You grew up on a farm? So you're a farm boy like Luke Skywalker. Boom. I had a few friends when I was at, you know, your rival university, affectionately referred to as MU by some of you people. But yeah, when I was there, I had a few friends that were, you know, children of farmers, and they said that their parents wanted to make sure that they did anything but farming because it was very hard work. Not just hard work, but could be, I guess, also, I guess, inconsistent, economically challenging. I don't know. Ooh, I just got the agrarian achievement for planting 1,000 seeds. Just spread my seed all over the place. And I need a rim shot. Boop. Alright, we got that. I don't even know what I'm planting down there. I need to be planting more wheat. Boom. But yeah, games like this I find relaxing. Kind of a nice break from getting ganked in Pyro, for example. Let's see if I can get the perfect shot. I can hit them all. Boom. That's how it's done. At least until I upgrade this water thing. This gun reminds me of the Super Soakers that we grew up with. Not the crap these kids have now, but the originals. The ones that had enough power to, like, blow a kid off the sidewalk like a fire hose. Seeding Man. Alright. This is a perfect game for you. If they added space farming to Star Citizen, would you be a farmer there? Wow, 158 acres? Wow. So you're like rich. No wonder you play Star Citizen. I'm kind of surprised I haven't played Farming Simulator yet. Because I play other games like Power Wash Simulator.
Not sure they appreciate a stomping neck.
I really find it relaxing. That's why I do it. Somewhat mindless, but I've also, I may or may not have played Lawnmower Simulator. I only played it once though, but I did enjoy the experience. Took me back to those years where my parents used to make me mow the lawn. I'm glad I've reached a point where I can pay other people to do it now. Boom. Yeah, 158 acres. Wow, that's like an estate, dude. Well, I mean, land, are you... I'm making an assumption, but are you from the United States? Because 158 acres, I think, in any state is worth a pretty penny if you're in the States. I can't speak for other countries. I don't know the situations. You actually have a server there. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll join. Maybe I'll play. I have some friends that are trying to get me into the new house flipping game. I guess it's got multiplayer. Apparently that one, I guess you can get like U-Haul truck or whatever. People work on different parts of the house. Farming simulators become very popular though, because I know I was like looking to possibly replace my VKB sticks, and I saw all the farming simulator equipment that they sell now. I feel like it rivals the racing stuff. Good stuff with the joysticks and all the buttons. I'm like all about that stuff. Alright, everything's watered up, so I think we're good here. Alright, let's get down to some upgrades. Well, first off, let's build our friend's landing pad here. Okay, we need 4 aluminum frame. Okay, so we've got some of the pieces. Oh, we have enough pieces already. Great. Well, he should be visiting us soon then. Hey, Ulf. Whoa, whoa, that was fast. Almost landed on my head, dude. Thank God he's human. I was afraid it was going to be some sort of alien trap.
Ah, good to see you.
Don't try anything funny. I've got a pickaxe.
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate you taking the time to make this outpost for me. And not a big deal. I make outposts for people all the time. Good. Glad to make your acquaintance.
Yes.
You see, I've spent years experimenting with plant seeds in an effort to trigger beneficial mutations. Your skill set may be just what I need to progress in my research. Tell me more about these experiments. While mutations are quite rare to trigger, even intentionally, and useful ones are even harder to get, this guy is definitely doing illegal genetic experimentation on human beings. So large sample size is required to progress by, which I mean like a farm. Would you be willing to add some mutated seeds to your crops and let me study the results? Sure, I'll let you damage my crops. Why not? I promise I can compensate. You're agreed. Just like that? Well, in that case, we need to build a seed splicer so we can get it all started. Need anything else while I'm at it? If it's not too much to ask, would you mind constructing a boundary around the outpost? Jeez, man, this guy is very demanding. I don't mean to overstep. Well, you totally overstepped, but okay. So it would be good to know where the borders are. Anything else I can help you with? Anything on your mind?
Interesting.
Seems like weather will allow for an outdoor experiment today. Better make the most of it. Nah, goodbye. Yeah, I just thought of it. In this game, when it's raining, you don't have to water the crops. So if I got that weather machine working, I wonder if I could create the rain. Hey, let me see. Do I want to put your border here? I don't really want to do that. I want to kind of move you to a better location. Screw it. We'll just do it. Let's plant fibers going. Let's get in the mech. This will be faster. I don't understand. Is like you crash land on this planet, but like the merchant is a human. This weird dude's a human. They could just rescue you and get you off this planet. Alright, let's do this part here. Oh, you're in Australia. Wow. Down under. The rum capital of Bundaberg. Cool. I'm not much of a drinker, but Australia is on my bucket list. Hoping I can catch the Great Barrier Reef before she's all gone. I'm a little scared of Australia though. I heard you guys have like some serious bugs over there, some serious spiders. But you guys are pretty tough. I mean, we're pretty proud of our trucks over here, because I was talking about the trucking game. But I saw you guys have like these like 3 trailer truck convoy things going on in the outback. It's like, wow, man, those Aussies are crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it the outback or is it another part of the country? All right, we got new recipes here, seed splicer and everything. Okay. This is how we're going to mutate our stuff. Alright, we'll try the mutated polyberry because I've got a bunch of those. question is, what is it actually going to do? Off.
Good dog, like my dad used to say.
Good. Alright, so obviously he's German. I almost said Swedish. Good. Alright. Looks like it's about to reach a day-night cycle, so let's go ahead and save the game. And actually, I should probably wrap up tonight's stream because we have hit my bedtime. I got stuff I need to do in the morning. However, I will be back on Wednesday for some Star Citizening, I promise.
Out then, seize the day.
Thanks for taking me down a stroll up memory lane of 80s and 90s computing. I can't believe we talked about trade wars and the BBS days. That really took me back. So much so I think I'm gonna have to do some Googling and some research, maybe set that thing up. Got some spliced seeds. Okay, what can we do with these guys? I'll have to plant them later. Yes, I will definitely fix the Discord so that it will work with the stream. And we can talk on Wednesday. Then you can like show me the ropes, you know, show me the part of Star Citizen that I'm missing. I could definitely use the tutelage. Anyway, good to see you, Dan. Thanks for coming back, JP. Appreciate it. And I appreciate your help too on the motherboard. Yeah, I'm giving you a hard time, but I really do think you have probably saved my experience because I like to keep a computer for 4 or 5 years. So I appreciate that. Anyway, guys, have a good night or morning, wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.